Sorry that I'm a little bit late. I know I scheduled this stream for 7:40. I was just enjoying some dinner. I got home pretty late. Let's get straight into it. Haven't done one of these in a while, so I'm going to be doing my NRL tips, but they're actually going to be live. So I don't think I've done it all year, and next week I'll go back to videos. I thought it'd be a bit of fun. I don't really do the recaps anymore. If I think something's worth recapping, then I may address it. I do more stuff on Instagram involving the recap side of things, but the tips are specifically for YouTube. So let's get straight into this round, and let's have a look at these team lists because I've heard there's a few changes. I've heard the Storm and the Raiders have a couple changes. I'm guessing like Whiten's rested and players like maybe Cam Munster might be rested. I'm just going to turn this down. Cool. So we have the Broncos versus the Cowboys on Thursday night. Now, this match will probably determine whether the Broncos do get the wooden spoon or not. Will they get it, in my opinion? Let's have a look at the team list. You've got Darius Boyd in his final NRL game. That is huge. The fact that Darius Boyd is playing his final NRL game, the Broncos are going to be right up for this and right up for him. He's up against Valentine Holmes. So Holmes is at fullback with Kyle Felt and Hamiso on the wing. Katoni Staggs in 5'8" for Tyson Gamble, Brady Croft, Anthony Milford. The list goes on. So ins, Brady Croft in jersey number 21. Jesse Arthur's in the centres for, I mentioned him, Katoni Staggs there. Tom Dearden remaining in the 7. Jordan Ricky filling the big shoes there of David Fafita. Now, the Broncos here, looking at the lineup, it's okay. They've got David Fafita out, which is a loss, but Payne Haas returns to their side. As for the Cowboys, I'll go through them first. Josh Maguire is back. Justin O'Neill is in the reserves in jersey number 21, and John Asiata is in via the bench in jersey 14. Now, this is a terrible game to tip. It's a very difficult game to tip, and I've had to have a long, hard think about it. I've had to have a long, hard think about the round because it's the last round for a lot of teams. Darius Boyd, can he go out a winner? Can the Cowboys win this one and upset the Broncos for the first time in a while? Because the Broncos have a great record against the Cowboys and they won't want that wooden spoon, but I'm going to go ahead and tip the Cowboys here. I think there's going to be a big, big game from Valentine Holmes. I think that Valentine Holmes is going to be a little bit too strong for Darius Boyd. Kind of sad that Darius Boyd's final NRL game is here. He's been a good player. I don't think he's been great the last 2 years, but I think he's been a great player through his career. So that'll be missed. I think the Cowboys get up, whether it is 1-12 or 13 plus. I can see the Cowboys winning. It's either 26-12 or 26-14 for me, and I'm going to go with 26-12. Yeah, I think that the Cowboys will be a little bit too classy. I think the Broncos will be handed the wooden spoon. So I'm going to take the Cowboys to beat the Broncos on Thursday night to kick off the round. To take the Cowboys 26, so the Broncos 12. So that's the first tip, the North Queensland Cowboys there. Next game we have Titans up against the Knights. Tough game here as well. Both these sides coming off a bit of form. Philip Sammy is in jersey number 20 for the Titans. Brian Kelly returns to the centres in jersey number 3. And that's it. Bradman Best is back for the Newcastle Knights. And Kurt Mann is in. Where's he playing? Jersey number 9. That's a big in for mine. That's enough to make me tip the Knights. And I'll tell you what, I was going to tip the Knights anyway. I think the Titans have been playing really well. The thing that worries me for the Knights is that they haven't played very good away from home. They've been very good at home, putting these big score lines on. The Titans are in some good form, but I'm going to tip the Knights by 10. I think that the Knights will get good enough of a job done to cover the Titans. It'll come down to the experience of Mitchell Pearce and his kicking game versus the young rookie Harv, who I think has been fantastic, Jamal Fogarty. But I think the Knights will win by 10. I'm going to take the Knights. I reckon it'll be high scoring. I reckon there'll be plenty of points in this. I reckon it'll be 28 points to 18. I think the Titans will really come out firing. The Titans might even get an early lead, but the Knights will run away with it by 10 points, in my opinion. So I'm going to take Newcastle in that one to win an away game, which will be big coming into finals. So that means the Titans will probably finish. I can't spoil this, actually. I can't if I do tip them. Next game is the Rabbitohs and the Roosters at ANZ Stadium. This game is on Friday night, and I'm attending this game. I'm really excited. I'm attending this game. I'm just seeing now. So Mitchell Orbison in jersey number 4. James Tedesco at fullback. I'm guessing Joseph Manu's been rested based on that lineup. Joseph Manu, Lindsay Collins, and Isaac Liu all rested. James Tedesco back. Boyd Cordner back. Takiaho back. Roosters look real good here. Sewer out for the Rabbitohs. I think the Roosters win. I think the Roosters win well. I'm actually going to go the Roosters to win. I can't see many points here for the Rabbitohs, if I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to take the Roosters 32 points to 12. I honestly think that the Roosters are going to come out firing. I think a lot of people expected it to be closer between the Sharks, and it wasn't, which is exactly what I said. I said they'd win 13 plus. Everyone said either Sharks will win or Roosters 1 to 12. I was all over them 13 plus. The Rabbitohs, for mine, they haven't been playing great, but they've played good against. But the thing is, they've played against 2 average sides, and they've come down to that level. So the Rabbitohs could really be fired up and on another level to what we've seen. But I think that the Roosters will win. I think they'll be a little bit too strong for the Rabbitohs. It really could be a 1 to 12 game. Now that I think about it, I could see it. Do I take it? No, I think the Roosters win 13 plus. I think the Roosters win by 16. I tipped them by 20. So I'm going to take the Roosters. I'm going to change it. I'm going to take it 28 points to 12. I'm going to take the Roosters by 16 still. But at the same time, the Rabbitohs could be really fired up for this one, and it really could be a close game. It has been previously. The Rabbitohs got the better of the Roosters when they were in some good form last year. So don't be surprised if this is a close one. But I'm tipping a Roosters win. Make sure you smash like on the video as well, guys, while you're watching. Next up, we have Super Saturday. And we start off with the Bulldogs coming off a 26 to 16 win over the Rabbitohs last week. Good win there to hopefully avoid the wooden spoon. Up against the informed Penrith Panthers. Now, Dane Lurie will play at fullback. So Dylan Edwards out for this one. Who else is out? Looks like Kickout's out. That's a big out as well. Dylan Edwards, Stephen Crichton, and Kickout. Oh, watch out. As for the Bulldogs, Jack Cogger is in. No, unchanged. No changes from last week's side. Between Josh Jackson moving to lock and Chris Smith in the second row. Penrith resting some players there. This will be close. I'm going to take Penrith. I think this will be real close. I'm going to take Penrith by 6. Honestly, I think the Dogs are going to compete well in this one. The Dogs have the Dogs have got Remus Smith up against Tyrone May. Where Crichton should be. You've got Jaden Ockenbaugh, who's had, I would say, a little bit of a better season than Brian To'o, but they've both only played about 5 games of NRL this year. Jake Averillo in the 6th. Look, the halves for Penrith for mine should get it done. I just can't see them winning by a lot. So I think Penrith will win. I'm going to take the Panthers by 6. I feel like it could be low scoring. And again, it couldn't. I'm going to say 20 points to 14. So Penrith do score 20 points. But I just think that there's a little bit more to offer on those wings. The Bulldogs with Gallen and Ockenbaugh up against Mansour, To'o. And then you got the centres, which is, I think Brent Naden beats Tim Lafai. But Remus Smith up against Tyrone May. I think there's some real good matchups here. And I feel like Penrith will get it done. But I feel like it'll be a close game. So I'll take the Panthers there. I'll take the Panthers 20 and 14 to the Bulldogs. The next game sees the Cronulla Sharks up against the Canberra Raiders at Jubilee. Let's have a what? You're playing for a top 4 spot. Let's go through this. So Josh Papali is out. Jordan Rapana is out. John Bateman is out. Jared Croker is out. George Williams is out. And Chance Nickel-Klokstad is out. What? What? Jersey number 21 and 20 is Elliot Whitehead. Jersey number 19, Joe Tarpany. Their bench is, I think, the Boos, Darby Medlin, Jarrett Sublu. You've still got Dynamis Louis. You've still got Tom Starling. You've still got Soliola. You've still got Valemi and Kotrick. So that's a good lineup there for the Raiders. They've got some decent players there, and Harley Smith-Shields I rate highly. Now let's have a look at the Sharks. So Sione Katoa is out. Is it rested, or what's the call? Places on the wing. I don't know. Josh Dugan out. Sean Johnson out with the Achilles tendon injury. So Bryson Goodwin in jersey 20. Wade Graham in the number 6. He was good there for Origin for a bit, so that'll be interesting. Billy Magoulias on the reserves. Marwin Horoti in the centres up against Matt Tamiko. Oh, my God, this is a hard game to tip. Jesus Christ. I think that I'm going to make a call and say that whoever wins this loses next week. So if the Raiders win this, the Sharks will beat them in week 1 of the finals. But I'm going the opposite, and I'm going with the Sharks here. I think the Sharks will win. I think that Wade Graham plays real good in that number 6 role. You know what? I actually reckon that some of the Raiders who are on the reserves will be called up into this one. I reckon you could see Elliot Whitehead, Jack Whiten, or Joe Tarpany. I'd say maybe Tarpany out of that list will be called up from the reserves into the starting side or even off the bench for some game time, but I think the Sharks will win. I think that I had to lean towards the Raiders the more I think about it with their team, but I just think with Talakai going up against Corey Harawira-Naira, and then you've got Jesse Ramian up against Smith Shields, who hasn't had much game time. The number 7s is a battle as well, and I think Connor Tracy has a little bit more experience than Sam Williams. It's been a while since Sam Williams played a game of footy. Be interesting to see if Tom Starling can compete. I think Tom Starling is a little bit better than Blake Brayley. So I'll take the Sharks. I think it'll be damn close. I reckon it'll be really low scoring too. I'm going to take the Sharks. 14 points to 10. I reckon it'll be real low scoring. And I'll take Cronulla. I'll take Cronulla. Next game. Was that the 5:30? Oh, it was. Next game, massive one, is the Tigers versus the Eels at Bankwest Stadium at 7:30. And God, I wish I could go to this game. And guess what, guys? I'm going. I did get a ticket. I managed to secure a ticket and attend this game. So I'm really looking forward to being there, vlogging Benji Marshall's final West Tigers game against the Parramatta Eels. Also, the last game for Chris Lawrence. Obviously, the Tigers can't make the 8. Josh Aloiai is out. Brad Takarangi is in the reserves for the Eel. Daniel Alvaro and George Jennings back from the Warriors a chance as well. Luke Brooks and Alex Twal, as well as Tommy Talau, in for the Tigers. Michael Cheekham, real good to see him back off the bench. I think his last game was against the Eels, that seizure. Tough game to call here. It is a very tough game because we have been a little bit out of form, and I didn't think we were great against the Broncos. I'm glad that we won. I'm going to tip us here, though. I think we'll win. I think we like to upset Benji. We beat him in his 300th game. I think we'll send him out with an L. Unfortunately, he's been a fantastic player, so I can't wait to give him a massive clap. but I think Parramatta will win. I think it'll be a 1-12 win. So, what's my score prediction? I'm gonna go 20, 24-14. I haven't had much time to think about this, but I think that Parramatta win 1-12. Not confident. Both teams can score points. I'm going to take Eels by 8. I'm going to take 24-16. 24-16. And is Chris Lawrence playing in the centres? If Chris Lawrence is playing in the centres, he is. I reckon Chris Lawrence will score. He's up against Wonga Blake. I reckon Chris Lawrence will score in his final game at NRL. How's that for a tip? So, yeah, I reckon Parramatta win this. And I think that means that the Tigers won't finish ninth, which is... They probably won't want to win this game. Junior Paulo and Sean Lane are back in the starting side with Kane Evans back to the bench. Next game, Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock, sees the New Zealand Warriors up against the Manly Seagulls. Now, both the star fullback in Tom Trbojevic and Roger Tuivasa-Sheck are out for this one. Let's have a look at the Warriors. So Roger out, that's about it. Jermaine Tanua-Brown is back. Eli Katoa is back. Ben Trbojevic in jersey 18. Luke Metcalf in the reserves. Does that mean Cade Cust is playing? Lachlan Croker in jersey number 6. And Jack Gurjeski, always get that bloody name wrong, is back with Ruben Garrick also. Now, I'm going to be honest here. I reckon the Warriors will be right up for this one. I reckon they'll be fired up. I reckon they'll win quite well. Now, the thing that does it for me is that it'll be tough. It should be a close game. I think the Warriors, the fact that they're getting on a plane, they're going to see their families, they're playing their last game of the year, they've had a solid season. Manly haven't been great. They've beaten Manly once this year. I'm taking New Zealand Warriors to win 13+, and I'm pretty confident with this tip. I reckon that the Warriors can really match up against this Manly side. The issue of Roger Tuivasa-Sheck being out is big, but at the same time, you've got no Tom Trbojevic. So I'm going to take the Warriors 30 to the Manly Seagulls 12. 18-point win to celebrate the end of the Warriors season in absolute style. I could go as far as saying this game could be like 30-6. I honestly think Manly have been dreadful lately. And, I think that the Warriors are going to get up for this one. And the final game of the round, which the Dragons are paying $9, and I had a feeling they might win. But let's have a look at this side, because I feel like Storm will rest. And, yes, they will. Ricky Lutelli gets his first game all year, I'm pretty sure, up against Ewan Aitken. Shandor Earl on the wing. Isaac Lumi on the wing. Riley Jackson, Cooper Johns are the halves. So Cameron Munster and Jerome Hughes rested. Kamika and Brandon Smith, Christian Welch, Thompson, not many changes there. Off the bench, Nico Hines, Albert Verte, and Darren Schnog. To make it a little bit... So you've got outs for Storm. Brenko Lee, Cameron Smith. Wow, Cameron Smith's a big out. Cameron Munster, Felice Kafusi, Jerome Hugh, Jesse Bromwich, Josh Adokar. Hang on. Brenko, Cameron, Felice, Jerome, Jesse, Josh, Justin, Kenny, Nelson. That's 12 players. They're resting 12 players. Now, Ben Hunt is out for this one. Now, I think he's been good for the Dragons, so I think that's a little bit of a loss for them in jersey 14. He's been really good, not in the halves, in my opinion. I think Jaden Sullivan makes his debut in the number 6 as Corey Norman has been dropped. Now, this is crazy to think about because the Dragons, for mine, were absolutely awful. I want to see what the betting's at because the Dragons were at $9. So the Dragons are now, they were $9, $1.80, and Storm at $2. And you know what? I'm taking that $2. I'm taking Melbourne. I think Melbourne still have some quality in their side here. I'm just going to go through this again. So you've got Tui Kamika up against Blake Laurie. You've still got Ryan Pappenhausen up against Matt Duffy. He'll be fresh from a few games off. Zach Lomax should beat out Paul Momorowski there, in my opinion. The Dragons are a huge bloody chance. Huge chance. Huge. Brandon Smith, the Wombat, up against McInnes. I think McInnes wins that one. And Nico Hines against Carrick Sims. He's got a lot of speed to him. He'll be good in this game. But as I said, 12 players rest for the Storm is huge. I wouldn't count the Dragons out at all, but I reckon the Storm will win. I reckon the Storm will win by 8. I'll take the Storm in a close one, 20 points to 12. There's a few teams I think that will score 12 points in this round, and I'm going to take that. So those are my tips. Let's go through it. So I'm going with the Cowboys to beat the Broncos, the Knights to beat the Titans, Roosters to beat the Rabbits, Penrith to beat the Dogs, the Sharks to beat. Am I going with all favourite? No, actually 2 upsets. Tigers, Eels to beat the Tigers, Warriors to beat Manly, and a bit of an upset, I guess, the Storm to beat the Dragons. Now, I just think that I want to tip the Dragons, and I had this feeling that the Dragons will win. They probably will win, and people will probably win some money. But some people may also get karma. And I just think that with players like Kamikamika, Ryan Pappenhausen, they can match up against that Dragons side. So this is tough, but I'm going to take Melbourne. Not confident at all. This is a very, very 50 flip that bloody coin game. But Melbourne's resting a lot of players. The Dragons are without their half they've been with Adam Clune for a while, who's been good. But you've no Corey Norman, he's been dropped. No Ben Hunt. So the tackles for the Dragons wasn't great on the weekend. And if Ben Hunt's not making tackles, then that's an issue for mine. So I think the Storm win in a close one. So let's go through a multi for the weekend. I can't. The Storm at $2 is value, but I can't be confident. So I'd probably be staying away from that. So let's go with the Penrith Panthers 1-12. The Dogs have been decent lately, so I'll take the Dogs to cover a line of 12.5. Honestly, I reckon they can do it. I'll go the Roosters to beat the Rabbitohs. I won't take them a margin. I've got them 13+, but I think it could be a different game. Do I take the Cowboys 13+ or head-to-head? I think the Cowboys beat the Broncos, so we'll go the Cowboys head-to-head. And we'll go to the Eels and Tigers. That total points is a bit too much compared to what I was thinking. Okay, well, we'll go to the Warriors. And I'm taking the Warriors 13+. They beat Newcastle 36 points to 6. Honestly, they are not losing to Manly. Hear me again? They are not losing to Manly, guys. And we'll go with Parramatta head-to-head. Pretty confident. So 5 legs this round. We're going with Penrith Panthers 1-12. I'm going to drag this forward a bit. We're going with the Sydney Roosters to beat the Rabbitohs, which I'll be at. Going with the Cowboys to hand the Broncos the wooden spoon. The Warriors 13+ at $5.50. That was at $7 when I got on it, so get on that one. And the Eels to win $52.60 there. That is fantastic value in my opinion. Let's go through some try scorers. Now, we have a lot of debutants, so bear with me. If they're not a debutant, let me know in the comments. Also, make sure you do like this video, guys. We're close to 20 likes, so we're nearly there. Let's go with the Cowboys and the Broncos. And I reckon Valentine Holmes will score. I reckon big game from Val Home, $2.20. I like Val to score a try at any time. Titans Knights. Well, I took the Knights to win, but I took the Titans to score plenty of points. So let's pick a try scorer for the Titans. And AJ Rimson's been good. But I'm going to go Young Tonomapia. I think Young Tonomapia has been fantastic for the Titans. So I'm going to take Young Tonomapia, anytime try scorer. Rabbitohs and Roosters. Be interesting to pick this one since I'm at the game. I'll go with a Rooster. Let's go with... I'll go in the centres again. Is pretty tempting. Just trying to think. Kicking up. Orbo. I'm going to go Daniel Tupou. It's only $1.50. It's a safe bet there. Hey, Riley, just make sure you don't comment high one more time, otherwise you will be timed out. So Daniel Tupou there as an anytime try scorer. Bulldogs and the Panthers. I think the Panthers try. I reckon there'll be a roughie there. I'm going to go Kurt Capewell. Kurt Capewell at $3.60. Kurt Capewell. Yeah, it does rugby league history. Sharks and Raiders. I'm going to take... Oh, God. Well, I took it 14-10, so it's a very tough game to pick a try scorer. I'm going to go a Raider. I'm going to go Kotrick. I think in that side, Kotrick will score. Ruffy, gut feeling, is Dubby Medlin. There you go. Parramatta and the Tigers. I'm going to take 2 here. Chris Lawrence at $4.20 is brilliant. What's Benji? $7.50. I don't think Benji scores, but I think Chris Lawrence will. I also think for some reason that Blake Ferguson might sneak over. Warriors Manly. We'll go with the Warriors. I'm going to go Eli Katoa. He's back in the side. Been a gun for them this year. Eli Katoa. And Dragons and Storm. I'll go one of each. No, I won't. I can't see where the points come from for the Dragons. This is tough. Both fullbacks to score, Pappenhausen and Dufty. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm going to go... Momorowski's back. He scores a bit. Going to the right edge. Paul Momorowski playing on right or left? Let me have a look. If Paul Momorowski's on the right-hand side of the field, I reckon he'll score. He is. Jersey number 4. Paul Momorowski. So there we go. 9 try scorers. Val, Tonomapia, Tupou, Capewell, Kotrick, Chris Lawrence, Blake Ferguson, Eli Katoa, and Paul Momorowski paying $6,000. There you go. Bang. Bang. Absolute banger there. All right, guys. I'm going to wrap that up. Thank you so much for joining my final round of tips. Can't wait to get into the finals next week. Probably playing Penrith. So worrying game there. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I will see you guys on Friday for the Rabbitohs versus Roosters game day highlights vlog. Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do subscribe.